What is up, guys? Man, I had to go live with this. I got a new camera. I haven't even figured this shit out yet, but I'm literally going live anyway because I thought this was so crazy uh, that this is happening. By this, I mean, holy hell, I can't even. Damn, that looks crazy. That doesn't look right. Dagnabbit. That's not. Anyway, let's see if this is gonna do what I want to. It also, I don't know if you know who Sean Ryan is. He's a former Navy SEAL. This guy just dropped a bomb, and by bomb I mean a big ass bomb in regards to the Cybertruck attacks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at a little bit. He literally called an emergency podcast for this. And this is no bullshit, guys. Like, I'm not bullshitting at all. This is no clickbait, no this, no that. I mean, you see how this, I don't even have all my cameras and shit set up right. And I'm trying so hard to get it out here. Yeah, so share this. All right, check this out.
You're here today because of an email you received from Matthew Livelsberger. A couple of
sound familiar? The Green Beret guy who they are now telling us was the person responsible for, and the person whose body was found dead in the Cybertruck.
Days before the Cybertruck bombing at Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. You'll also be able to discuss what you know about the terrorists who conducted the New Orleans attack. Did I miss anything?
No, that sums it up. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll give a background on why that's significant so your viewers understand how this.
So this is Sam Shoemate, an intelligence officer for the U.S. Army. He's retired, but so this isn't just some dude. Okay,
came into my inbox.
Perfect. One other thing that I just wanted to say to the audience is, even though we are redacting these names from the episode, you pass that, I believe you passed that email on to the FBI.
Yes.
We're also going to pass it on to our contacts at the FBI. It's very obvious that people know it. Like I said, the CID has been telling everybody. In fact, we talked to Jeremy, who's sitting over there, my producer, me, him, and my attorney, Tim Parlatore. We're up till about 10:30 last night talking to the chief of staff?
The Army Chief of Staff POA.
The Army Chief of Staff's POA took a major interest in this as well. And, you know, one of the things that he said, I'll wait till later to bring that up, but I don't know. I don't trust any of these people. I mean, public affairs officers are there to.
I'll keep my mouth.
Yeah. Create.
PAO is there to protect the command.
Yeah.
100%, nothing else.
Yeah.
They're not there to shed transparency on anything. They're there to
go
protect
to the email.
command.
Let's recreate what the story is. But, and you know what's interesting? Fuck it, I'm just going to say it. You know what he said? He goes, on the call, he said, then at 9:34 p.m. So let's go to you, Sam. Tell me how you got the email.
All right. So for context, I've run this account for the last 4.5 years. There have been people in and out writing articles and different stuff and just investigations, some big, some small, just trying to keep accountability in the military, but developed a robust network within the military, all branches, and people feed into this and send me messages and here and there. Nothing ever like this has ever come in. But well, it started off as comments. So when you have a big Instagram account, you're going to miss a lot of messages because people message, go to hidden messages and everything else. You miss a lot of stuff. Well, I kept seeing this comment on recent posts that I put in there, and it was from this burner account that said, hey, check your DMs, check your DMs, check your DMs. So I go in there and try to find it. There's no message from this guy, hadn't come through or whatever. And then he messages again once that message was opened up. And I said, hey, your previous messages haven't come through. What do you want to tell me? And he said, what I'm going to send you, now these are literally his words. What I'm going to send you is going to change the course of humanity. That was his phrase, change the course of humanity. Okay. A little bit dramatic. I get these messages all the time. People have this big story they want to tell. They want to expose their command, whatever. I take everything with a grain of salt until I have evidence and proof. So this guy is insistent. He tells me that he is a 18 Zulu who I've spoken to before, and he really needs to get this stuff to me. And then he talks about you. He says, I need you to get me in contact with Sean Ryan. I'm like, dude, I don't know Sean Ryan. I'm not that big, but he's insistent that I get him diverted to media sources, says go to Fox News, whatever else. And I said, all right, tell me what you got. So I give him my Proton email account, give him my signal number. And he reaches out immediately. And I'm going to read this initial message for you because this doesn't have names or anything else on it. But this was his message on Sunday. He reached out and said, like I said, this last Sunday, he said, sending with a VPN active on Wi-Fi only. Do not message me. I will send out updates via both Signal and email, but trust me, you're going to want to be involved. Well, first of all, no, I didn't want to be involved. Anyways, and then, so I didn't message. I responded back to his original Instagram message. And I said, hey, I got your message on Proton Mail. And he said, cool, delete this. So I deleted it. That's how.
This, by the way, this is Matthew Livelsberger, the guy who supposedly was responsible for this Cybertruck attack and blowing up. This is on Sunday that Matthew Livelsberger is reaching out to this guy who's retired officer of the Army. Okay. So that's what's going on so far.
I ended up getting this message on Tuesday. So the message that this right here, this manifesto, if you want to call it that, came in on Tuesday. And when I started reading this, my initial take was, okay, this is off the deep end. It's bonkers. I can't validate or verify any of the stuff in this manifesto. Mm-hmm. And I told him that in a subsequent email. And I'll read that to you later, my response to him. And once again, my response to him elicited, hey, get me in contact with Sean Ryan, Fox News, and he even said Pete Hegseth. Get me in contact with Hegseth. And I'm like, dude, I don't have the incoming Secretary of Defense's phone number. Sorry, bro. That's the last time I talked to him. So yesterday morning.
So this guy, Matthew Livelsberger, who supposedly just drove, and I'm going to let you, I'm going to stop talking, but I just want you guys to understand the gravity of this. This is the guy who supposedly blew up this Cybertruck a few days ago, emailing this guy this past Sunday, 3 days before this took place, begging him to get him in touch with Sean Ryan, who has, 3.59 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, is an author, television producer, TV personality, or Fox News, basically. He's trying to get a message into someone big so that he could divulge this message that he has, okay? Just marinate on that as we're listening.
What date was that?
That was Tuesday. That was this Tuesday. So we're Friday now. That was 3 days ago.
So
the day before.
30th?
Yeah, the day before the attack. I dismissed this stuff out of hand.
The 31st. It was on the 31st.
Yes. In fact, I posted something on my...
Hold on. Take a look at this. Think you can tell what's real anymore?
Sorry, guys. Coming on through.
About this as well. But this was a post I made on Twitter. I was just trying to be humorous, off the cuff. It was... I didn't mean anything about it. I was just being humorous for my audience. I said, my inbox was especially eventful today. Allegations of war crimes, government anti-gravity technology, and fears about being tracked and watched by the feds. It's always, the world is ending and I have this information that needs to get to the media, and never, how you doing, brother? Everything all right? I was just playing off of a meme. Mm-hmm. It was just supposed to be a joke. That was the body of his email that he sent me. And I didn't think anything about it. I didn't know who Matt Berg was, Matt Livelsberg, or anything else. He told me who he was in the email. He pointed me to his LinkedIn account. I didn't know any of this stuff. And I was just kind of being humorous with my audience. Like, I get these crazy messages sometime. And then the day after that message, I wake up and my buddy was like, "Hey, Sam, nobody in the community seems to know this guy. Do you happen to know who he is?" And I played that for you before we came up here. Just absolute shock. That's how I woke up
Do
yesterday.
you want to play it now?
Yeah. Excuse my language.
This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. He gets this email and this message from this guy, right? And he has this big story that he wants to put out there about something that happened supposedly back in 2019. It's kind of a cover up for the military, that the military and the government covered up. I'm kind of stepping on the story a little bit, but that's because I don't know exactly how long before he gets to it. And he played it off like it's nothing, nothing big. You heard him. He gets stuff like this all the time. He's thinking that it's just, you saw the message that he put out on social media. He was playing it down like it wasn't anything big. And then the very next day, he learns about this Cybertruck exploding in Las Vegas in front of the Trump hotels.
I was definitely in shock. Let me find this chat. So
While you're digging through that, what we should do? I should get that Instagram account from you to see if they messaged any of our Instagram accounts. And we should also get that
I
email
don't have
address.
it. Deleted it.
You deleted it.
He told me to delete it and I deleted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should also get that email address and see if they sent it in through the website and see if he tried to contact us. Get that to the FBI.
So I'm in a
Hopefully
military.
they actually do something.
Yeah, I'm in a military group chat. Buddy Green Beret, Corey, he says, @Sam. No, nobody I've asked in the community knows him. You is at 8:46 a.m. yesterday. So I woke up and I said, "OF, I'm shaking. This guy emailed me 2 days ago. I'm not playing." And then he said, "Damn." And then this was my response to him at 8:48. Like, just woke up.
Dude, I'm fucking shaking, bro. You don't understand. This guy emailed me and told me he was being watched by the FBI and Homeland Security, but they weren't going to do anything to him because he had a VBID. I'm not fucking playing, dude. I have the
VBID is an explosive device that is attached to a vehicle, basically. Cybertruck with cans of gasoline and tons of fireworks in the back. He said that he's being watched by Homeland Security. This guy.
email. I am shaking, man. This is nuts.
And that's this guy holding the phone right here. His chat message back to the guy that reached out to him said, "Did you hear about this? Did you know this guy? Do you know anything about this guy?" And then he puts the two together and realizes, this is the dude that emailed me. This is the guy that emailed me and was trying to get in touch with Sean Ryan and this and that and Fox News.
And it goes from there. And I sat there for probably an hour talking about why I'm shaking. I can't even think straight. Like, normal day is shot. And I didn't know what I want to do. Do I sit on this? Do I do nothing with it? I've got to tell somebody. I've got to tell the FBI at least, because this is huge. This is all over the news. And then I was like, well, dude, this guy wanted to get in contact with Sean Ryan. So let me get this to Sean Ryan, see if I can get with him. And I had a buddy who knew your producer and we went from there. But
wow. Do you want to read the email?
Yep. So,
all right, but let me set this up for you. So basically the lowdown on all of this is, why would he be getting in touch with this guy to try to get put in touch with a platform that is big enough to share this message and telling this guy, you're going to want to be involved in this. You're going to want to be in the middle of this. Fox News, Sean Ryan show, 3.5 million subscribers, just so he could tell them that he was about to go shoot himself in the head and then program a Tesla Cybertruck to drive in front of the Trump hotels, just to, no, you don't do that. That's not what you do. Okay. So the suspicion is that body belongs to someone else. Now, I don't know how all this because I've heard other people talking about it, and they were saying it's a DNA thing, and the DNA of the body found in the truck does not match that of that of Livelsberger's son, and they should have the same DNA, of course, right? But uh, the part the hurdle I'm having trouble getting over right now is tattoos. They've said that they have, not for sure, but for the most part, identified a couple of the tattoos specifically on the belly area, and they're pretty sure that it's the Livelsberger guy. So if it is not him, and this is some other body or corpse that they recovered, what this person have the same tattoos? Like, what are we doing here? And obviously, Livelsberger's military ID was inside the vehicle, not burnt up. That's another like what? That thing was completely engulfed in flames. Right? Let's keep going.
Oh,
He's about to read the email manifesto that was sent to him by Matthew Livelsberger.
This email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then.
He was going to the border of Mexico. He's trying to cross over into Mexico because he was being followed by government officials, or at least he was sure he was being trailed by government officials, but that they wouldn't come after him or try to stop and detain him because he had a V-bed. He had a bomb in his vehicle.
First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operations Center, our OPSEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used a balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comms system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bid. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience.
I had to look it up. Of course, I'm not a military expert. He had to explain that to the FBI what that acronym was.
A V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWAT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So, backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive V-bid. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff. And this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with US FORA and Agent Redacted of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with Redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, Redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Bro, this is huge, massive on so many levels. This is so not bullshit. This is so not clickbait. I mean, you saw what he said there. Just look at the email. That was his message. That was the message that he was trying to send by having this vehicle explode in front of the Trump hotels. That there were numerous war crimes committed by us, by America, during the airstrikes in Afghanistan in 2019, where hundreds of civilians were killed. And the United States government was attempting to cover this up. I'm kind of scared to sit here and talk about it, to be honest. But you heard what they said. He was traveling. He was looking to travel into Mexico to get away from these authorities, right? And he wasn't sure if they were going to try to stop him or not. He thought that they probably wouldn't because he had a massive, bomb in his car. What happened here? One of two things. Either, the body, we already know the body was burned so badly that they literally could not confirm for sure that it was him. You can imagine. You saw the explosion. And it's probably a reason they used, more reasons than one, that they used that particular vehicle, because they wanted the fire to stay in and to stay contained so that the body would be just horribly burned. Okay. Did this body come from somewhere else? Did they get this body from somewhere else? And was this a body that was recently deceased? Or, I mean, did he escape and the government took this body? I mean, you just can't even, I can't even fathom what the implications for this may be. You guys tell me. I mean, is this guy still alive? Is he alive somewhere else? And this body was part of the plan because he knew he had sent out this email and he was asking this guy he says right here, you need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war, because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. I mean, I don't know, guys. Anyway, I just thought I'd put this out there. There's other stuff on here, but I don't want to be on here all night. I want to go spend some time with my family. But this is from the guy, okay, who was supposedly responsible for this Cybertruck attack and killing himself. A guy who is a very decorated Green Beret officer of our army for over 20 years, who by all accounts, according to everyone, they're just shocked, act like he was a really buttoned up guy, had all of his shit together. I mean, this guy seemed like a martyr to you? Or is he still alive somewhere else, perhaps in Mexico? Right? And he pulled this off to make this statement and to draw attention to this situation, and you know, the war crimes that were covered up by admin, a DOD, DEA, CIA. This shit is crazy. My mind is literally blown. Anyway, guys, let me know if you've heard anything else, and we'll see. All right, love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Hey, this deserves a subscribe. This is breaking news right here. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.